And you're in tune with Radio 2.
Sounds easy. Here on Radio 2.
Hello again, Alan Dell here, along with a whole bag full of marvelous old musical memories. From the top, a track from the second of two trendy albums of the mid-50s. Maybe after Songs for Swinging Lovers, you found a gem or two in A Swinging Affair.
I'm not the guy who cared about love, and I'm not the guy who cared about fortunes and such. I never cared much. Oh, look at me now. I never knew the technique of kissing. I never knew the thrill I could get from your touch. Never knew much. Oh, look at me now. I'm a new man, better than Casanova at his best. With a new heart, brand new start. I'm so proud I'm busting my vest. So I'm the guy who turned out a lover. So I'm the guy who laughed at those blue diamond rings. One of those things, oh, look at me now. I'm not the guy who cared about love, and I'm not the guy who cared about fortunes and such. Never cared much, oh, look at me now. And I never knew the technique of kissing. I never knew the thrill I could get from your touch. I never knew much, oh, look at me now. I'm a new man, much better than Casanova at his very best. With a new heart and a brand new start, I'm so proud I'm busting my vest. So I'm the guy who turned out a lover. Yes, I'm the guy who laughed at those blue diamond rings. One of those things, oh, look at me now. Look at me now.
And we pause to look at him now. Francis Albert Sinatra, born December the 12th in the teens of this century. And if his appearances in London this year are anything to go by, he's good, and I do mean good, for a whole lot of years yet. As a little birthday bonanza, Sinatra in various moods and various situations, and as we've done before, in happy harmony with friends. In fact, Sinatra in collusion with some of his favorite guys and dolls.
What's playing at the Roxy? I'll tell you what's playing at the Roxy. A picture about a Minnesota man so in love with a Mississippi girl that he sacrifices everything and moves all the way to Biloxi. That's what's playing at the Roxy.
What's in the Daily News? I'll tell you what's in the Daily News. Story about a guy who bought his wife a small ruby with what otherwise would have been his union dues. That's what's in the Daily News.
What's happening all over? I'll tell you what's happening all over. Guys sitting home by a television set who once used to be something of a rover.
That's what's happening all over. Love is a thing that has licked him, and it looks like Nathan's another victim.
When you see a guy reach for stars in the sky, you can bet that he's doing it for some dough.
When you spot a John waiting out in the rain, chances are he's insane, as only a John can be for a Jane.
When you meet a gent paying all kinds of rent for a flat that could flatten the Taj Mahal. Call it sad, call it funny, but it's better than even money that the guy's only doing it for some doll. When you see a Joe saving half of his dough, you can bet they'll be making it for some doll. When a bum buys wine like a bum can't afford, it's a cinch that the bum is under the thumb of some little broad. When you meet a mug lately out of the jug, and he's still lifting platinum falderall, call it hell, call it heaven, it's a probable 12 to 7 that the guy's only doing it for some doll, some doll, some doll. The guy's only doing it for some doll.
Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin, Guys and Dolls. Very much a favorite Sinatra doll is in the offing now. The musical backdrop is by Nelson Riddle, and Sinatra conducts the orchestra for Miss Peggy Lee.
He's my guy. I don't care what he does, 'cause he's my guy. I guess he always was. He's careless about me. I don't think he tries. But once in a while he'll hug me and smile. Then I can see me in his eyes. He's my guy. I know he'll always be, and I will try to keep him loving me. However he wants me, I'm his until I die. For nobody knows better than I that he is my guy. He's careless about me. I don't think he tries. But once in a while he'll hug me and smile. Then I can see me in his eyes. He is my guy. I know he'll always be, and I will try my guide.
From conducting back to vocalizing, duetting with Sammy Davis Jr.
Like the wallpaper sticks to the wall.
Like the seashore clings to the sea.
Like you'll never get rid of your shadow. Frank, you'll never get rid of me.
Let all the others fight and fuss.
Whatever happens, we've got us. We're closer than pages that stick in a book. We're closer than ripples that play in a brook. Wherever you find him, you'll find me, just look. Closer than a miser or the bloodhound's Deliza me.
We're closer than smog when it clings to L.A. We're closer than Bobby is to JFK. Not a soul can bust this team in two. We stick together like glue. And when it's a sleeping time,
that's when we rise.
We start to swing
to the sky.
Our clocks don't chime.
What a surprise. They ring. A ding ding, a happy new year. And now to repeat what I said at the start. They'll need a large crowbar to break us apart. We're alone but far from blue.
Before we get finished, we'll make the town roar. We'll make all the late spots and then a few more. We'll wind up at Jilly's right after Toots Shore. Life is gonna be a wee wow wee for my shadow and me.
Say, Frank.
What is it, Sam?
Would you do me a favor?
What do you want now?
Would you mind just taking it one more time?
From the top?
No, from the ending.
Wonderful. And while we are swinging, to mention a few, we'll drop in at Danny's, the little club too. But wind up at Jilly's, whatever we do, life is gonna be a wee wow wee. For my shadow and me. Oh, forget it, Sam.
All right.
unmistakably Nelson Riddle, who has played not just the music, but such an enormous part in Sinatra's success story. There, Nelson conducted one of Cole Porter's tunes included in the Sinatra Chevalier McLean movie, Can Can. Nelson also scored this Cole Porter song for another of Sinatra's favorite singing ladies, Miss Keely Smith.
Strange dear, but true dear, when I'm close to you, dear, the stars fill the sky, so in love with you am I. Even without you, my arms fold about you.
You know, darling, why so in love with you am I. In love with the night, mysterious.
The night when you first were there.
In love with my joy, delirious. When I knew that you could care.
So taunt me and hurt me, deceive me, desert me. I'm yours till I die.
So in love,
So in love,
so in love with you, my love. So in love,
so in love.
So in Love, Frank Sinatra and Keely Smith. Round about here, usually we keep a date with the 40s. Well, in the early part of that decade were the formative years of Sinatra's success. Looking over our shoulders at the crucible of his charisma, we work progressively backwards, first by way of a 1946 recording, and then with a scene from a Sinatra radio show of 1945 to his years as a band singer. So, beginning this sequence, Sinatra sings Rodgers and Hart with Axel Stordahl's orchestra.
Falling in love with love is falling for make-believe. Falling in love with love is playing the fool. Caring too much is such a juvenile fancy. Learning to trust is just for children in school. I fell in love with love one night when the moon was full. I was unwise with eyes unable to see. Falling in love with love ever after. But love fell out with me. I night when the moon was full. I was unwise with eyes unable to see. I fell in love with love everlasting. But love fell out with me.
That was the Mighty Star Doll auditioning Frank Sinatra, known during the football season as that musical wreck from Tonsillitis Tech. Well, neighbors, we're still in New York, where the strangest things can happen. For example, I'm walking down Fifth Avenue last night, and out of an open doorway, I hear a very familiar sound. I stop short. This, I say, is no foghorn off New York Harbor. This sounds like the trombone of that sentimental gentleman, Tommy Dorsey, my old boss. As though drawn by a magnet, I turn into the doorway, walk down a flight of stairs, and the next thing I know, I'm in a huge restaurant. I pass table after table, and the music comes closer. All of a sudden, I spot him, surrounded by 1,000 fans. It's the old master of the slush pump, Tommy Dorsey. My old boss. Haven't seen him since 43. Would he speak to me, I said to myself. Would he be glad to see me? I just had to find out. So I ups to him and I says, "Hi, Tommy." And gee, he was so sweet. Why, he turned to me and said,
"I knew you'd come crawling back one of these days."
"Oh, please."
Whispering while you cuddle near me. Whispering so no one can hear me.
Each little whisper seems to cheer me.
I know it's true, there's no one dear but you. Whispering why you'll never leave me. Whispering why you'll never grieve me.
Whisper and say that you believe me.
Whispering that I love you. love me, 'cause I'm in love with you.
Don't move out of the spotlight there, Pipers. Tell us about your tune for tonight.
Down in the land of Mexico,
Some people call it Mexico.
we've never been there, but we know.
Mexico's to Tampico.
Well, sing it then for Dorsey, our old bossy.
Tampico, Tampico, on the Gulf of Mexico. Tampico, Tampico, that's the place for you to go. Tampico, Tampico, where the big fat boats all go. Tampico, Tampico, down in Mexico.
If you are planning a trip, come down Tampico way. Those lovely tropical scenes will make you wanna stay.
Hey, Tampico, Tampico, on the Gulf of Mexico. Tampico, Tampico, that's the place to go.
The temperature's very high, so when out courting a maid, don't try to get too romantic. At 110, that's frantic.
Hey, Tampico, Tampico, on the Gulf of Mexico. Tampico, Tampico, that's the place to go.
The movie critics down there advise the people to see the greatest Mexican film.
In Brooklyn grows a tree.
Hey, Tampico, Tampico, on the Gulf of Mexico. Tampico, Tampico, that's the place to go.
You go down there to relax, relax.
To get away from the jive.
A native greets you and says, "Give me 5."
Hey, Tampico, Tampico, on the Gulf of Mexico. Tampico, Tampico, that's the place to go. We're getting sick of this song, you must be needless to say. It's too repetitious and long to sing much more today. Hey, Tampico, oh, Tampico, on the bright blue Gulf, but wet of Mexico. Tampico, say, do you know, Jack, this song's really gotta go.
The Pied Pipers on a Songs by Sinatra, one of his famous radio series of the mid-40s. That one, October the 24th, 1945, when Sinatra had his reunion with Tommy Dorsey. Incidentally, just after that Pied Pipers number, Tampico, Sinatra introduces his MD, the balding Axel Stordahl, to Tommy, like this.
Say, Axel, I want you to meet Tommy Dorsey.
Hello, Axel.
Hi there, boss.
Boss, I worked for this guy for 7 years. Axel, let me get a good look at you. Gee, what happened to your hair? 7 years with Dorsey, are you kidding?
This lovely day will lengthen into evening. We'll sigh goodbye to all we've ever had. Alone where we have walked together, I'll remember April and be glad. I'll be content you loved me once in April. Your lips were warm and love in spring were new. But I'm not afraid of autumn and her sorrow, for I remember April and you. The fire will dwindle into glowing ashes, For flames and love live such a little while. I won't forget, but I won't be lonely. I'll remember April and I'll smile. I won't forget, but I won't be lonely. I'll remember April and I'll smile.
Frank Sinatra reunited with Axel Stordahl as MD in September 1961. They'd gone their separate ways through force of circumstances after April 1953. And there, Sinatra was singing, under Stordahl's direction, for his last Capitol album, Point of No Return. It marked the end of Sinatra's finest decade of singing, in company with great talents like Nelson Riddle, Billy May, and Gordon Jenkins. And we could not do better than look back on that decade, and while one is tempted to revive all the momentous milestones, I've Got the World on a String, just one of those things, I've Got You Under My Skin, Night and Day, Come Fly With Me, so many more, perhaps it would be no less profitable to recall some of the other marvelous moments, the swingers and the ballads. In the former category,
there's hidden persuasion within your eyes. Your charming indifference is but a disguise. I would be glad to love you if love is in the deal. But I must feel quite certain that the love is for real. Your hidden persuasion seems quite sincere. Perhaps my evasion is meaningless fear. Since every gain requires the element of chance, here's hoping at least we'll find romance. Your hidden persuasion seems quite sincere. Perhaps my evasion is meaningless fear. Since every gain requires that element of chance, here's hoping at least we'll find romance. Here is hoping at least we'll find romance.
in his latter days with Capitol, in addition to the classic album concepts, Frank Sinatra cut a whole slew of singles. Hidden Persuasion from August 1960 was one. Here, again with Nelson Riddle, in May 1959, Words of Romance.
Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. Your magical kiss can take me just so far. Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. Don't leave me like this, dangling from a set me all aflame, and it's so pleasing. It sure would be a shame if you were only teasing. So my love, before I go, turn the light way down low and talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. Your magical kiss can take me just so far. Don't leave me like this, dangling from a star. You set me all aflame, and it's so pleasing. It sure would be a shame if you were only teasing. So, my love, before I go, turn the light way down low and talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me.
That's a nice one. Too seldom played. Some typical Sinatrisms were concocted in those last days at Capitol. In August and September 1960, he and Nelson went to work for what turned out to be one of the shortest LPs of all time, Sinatra's Swinging Session. In the midst of the titles which formed that album, they cut 3 extras. Perhaps they were intended for the collection, which would certainly have made it longer, but they were issued elsewhere. One was Hidden Persuasion, another was Sentimental Baby, and the third starts quietly enough, but builds to a typical Sinatra swinger of unrestrained joy. Old MacDonald Had a Farm.
Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on this farm there was a chick, the prettiest chick I know. With a little curve here and a little curve there, this chick, she had curves everywhere. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And oh, this chick, she had a walk, E-I-E-I-O. And how this walk would drive 'em wild, swinging to and fro, with a little wiggle here and a little wiggle there. Man, this chick had wiggles to spare. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. When she went walking into town, E-I-E-I-O. The local gentry popped their eyes. Tarnation, what a show! With a gold dang here and a gush down there. Heaven to Betsy, I do declare, old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. There was a barn dance Saturday night, E-I-E-I-O. And the fellas came for miles around just to see her do-si-do. With a promenade here and a promenade there, at a square dance, boy, this chick was no square. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. I used to be a traveling man, E-I-E-O. Until I hit MacDonald's place, things were mighty slow. With a little chick here and a little chick there, I didn't have a real chick anywhere. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. This farmer's daughter knocked me out, E-I-E-I-O. I asked MacDonald for her hand, and Pappy hollered, go. with a little curve here and a little wiggle there. A gold dang here and a gosh darn there. A do-si-do here and promenade there. Got my own private county fair. 'Cause old MacDonald had a farm. E-I-O-I-O.
I think that of all the musical director-arrangers Sinatra had in the 1950s, none was as complete as Nelson Riddle, swinging lustily one moment, utterly suiting the mood of ballads like this the next.
I see your face before me, crowding my every dream. There is your face before me. You are my only theme. It doesn't matter where you are. I can see how fair you are. I close my eyes and there you are. Always. If you could share the magic, yes, if you could see me too, there would be nothing tragic in all my dreams of you. Would that my love could haunt you so, knowing I want you so. I can't erase your beautiful face before me. Would that my love could haunt you so, knowing I want you so. I can't erase your beautiful face before me.
Marvelous Arthur Schwartz Howard Dietz song that Sinatra selected for his classic Wee Small Hours album. Through the whole collection, Nelson Riddle is quite superb. Billy May, of course, added a musical twinkle with his humor. And towards the end of Sinatra's Capitol days, he used a double brass section band for a set of songs, many of which Sinatra had sung a decade earlier. In fact, it was exactly 11 years and 11 days that separated two versions of An American Beauty Rose. The first with Mitch Miller, not one of Sinatra's favorite people. This one with Mr. May.
Daisy is darling, Iris is sweet, Lily is lovely, Blossom's a treat. Of all the sweethearts a guy could meet, when I finally chose an American Beauty Rose. Camelia's tragic, she can't be mine. Magnolia's magic, it makes Maggie shine. Laurel will hug you, orchids divine. Still I finally chose an American Beauty rose. She's clingier than ivy, and she's stingier than black-eyed Susan, springier than Maybelle in June. I'm daffy as a daffodil. It's laughable the way I thrill when roses are in bloom. Pansy is pretty, willow is tall, violet's kisses to lips recall. How can I choose one? I love them all. Still I finally chose an American Beauty rose. Pansy is pretty, willow is tall, violet's kisses, tulips recall. How can I choose one? I love them all. Still I finally chose an American Beauty rose.
Frank Sinatra and Billy May, a happy union that exists to this day. Mind you, so does the one with Nelson Riddle. New arrangements by him appear at the concerts, and as I've mentioned before, there's an unfinished album on the shows. And then there's the third of the noted arrangers, Gordon Jenkins. He, too, is still much involved in the Sinatra world. For the most part, in this section, we've kept away from the very familiar, perhaps overplayed items, but I just have to include this unmatched classic with Gordon Jenkins. Here's That Rainy Day.
Maybe I should have saved those leftover dreams. Funny, but here's that rainy day. Here's that rainy day they told me about, and I laughed at the thought that it might turn out this way. Where is that worn-out wish that I threw aside after it brought my love so near? Funny how love becomes a cold, rainy day. Funny that rainy day is here. It's funny how love becomes a cold, rainy day. Funny that rainy day is here.
Although, as I said, I think the 50s are acknowledged by Sinatrophiles as being his consistently finest period. There are a great number of memorable moments from his later recordings under his own Reprise banner. Sinatra in Strings with Don Costa, I Remember Tommy with Cy Oliver, September of My Years with Gordon Jenkins, and in between, continuing moments with Nelson Riddle. This one from November 1968.
If the lady's naughty but proper, if the lady's chicer than chic, if her escorts must wear a topper, and each man's the man of the week, if she rides around in a brand new foreign car, the chances are the lady's a star. If the lady's utterly charming, if the lady's chummy with kings, if her whims are close to alarming, and it's known she's thrown a few things, if they've got a drink with her name in Chili's bar, the chances are the lady's a star. If her smallest party is really extensive with tons of expensive caviar, if the lady's someone with the same credentials, someone with the same essentials, someone who is worshipped from afar, she's a genuine, positive, totally marvelous, perfectly wonderful. She's a great big star.
And really no need to tell you what this is. You've heard this introduction on many a radio and TV show. Sinatra's theme song.
Put your dreams away for another day, and I will take their place in your heart, wishing on a star never got you far. And so it's time to make a new start. When your dreams at night fade before you, then I'll have the right to adore. Let your kiss confess this is happiness, darling, and put all your dreams away. then I'll have the right to adore you. Let your kiss confess this is happiness, darling, and put all your dreams away.
So, a belated happy birthday greeting to Francis Albert. Let's hope he keeps his promise to come visiting here each year for concerts. And I hope he completes some of those albums he still has lying unfinished on the shelves. We'll round off this hour, as we usually do, and I hope you'll join us for more of the good sounds next Sunday at 3:30. Till then, from me, Alan Dell, bye-bye.
Hey, but that's tasteful. Now it's 4:30, and you're in tune with Radio 2.